olive oil you buy in the supermarket may not be real olive oil at all.
In a recent operation across southern Italy, law enforcement had a major organized crime syndicate under surveillance. Covert footage captured by authorities showed tanker trucks moving in and out of a secluded compound. By monitoring the vehicles with GPS trackers, investigators discovered they were transporting massive shipments of oil. This product was being distributed to retailers and restaurants primarily in Germany, where it was marketed as premium, authentic Italian extra virgin olive oil. Upon raiding the facility after a lengthy investigation, police uncovered a sophisticated fraud operation.
And authorities in southern Italy have confiscated 42 tons of fake olive oil worth nearly $1 million.
The group was discovered to be importing low-grade seed oil, acquired for little more than €1 per liter. To perfectly mimic the appearance of real olive oil, they dyed it with chlorophyll. The compound was equipped with full bottling and labeling machinery, allowing them to expertly package the counterfeit product with extra virgin olive oil, branding adorned with the Italian flag. At its peak, the criminal network was moving approximately 23,000 liters of the fake oil every week, selling it for 5 to 10 times its original cost. Annual profits from the scheme were estimated to be around €8 million. The operation was ultimately shut down, resulting in 24 arrests and the seizure of 150,000 liters of fraudulent product.
Slippery fraudsters allegedly trying to squeeze into the olive oil market by selling fake oil have been caught and handcuffed in Italy.
Real olive oil is hard to make. It can go bad easily and is tricky to ship far away. But the real thing is very good for you and tastes amazing. Sadly, there is a lot of lying in the olive oil business. This includes criminals in Italy and even the big brands you see in stores. The fact is, you might have never actually tasted real extra virgin olive oil. Let me show you how this cheating happens, why it's a problem, and how you can find the real stuff. The heart of olive oil production has always been the warm, sunny Mediterranean. For thousands of years, people in this region have pressed the fruit of the olive tree to create a liquid that seemed almost magical. This oil was so much more than just food. It was used in medicine, lamps, skin care, and holy ceremonies. It was a cornerstone of life. For a long time, the rest of the world was largely unaware of this liquid gold. That changed in the 1960s, when an American study looked at the health of thousands of men. They discovered something surprising. People in Italy and Greece were very healthy and lived long lives, even after times of war and hardship. The researcher believed their secret was their diet, full of fish, vegetables, nuts, and most importantly, lots of olive oil instead of fats like butter. News of the Mediterranean diet spread fast. By the 70s and 80s, everyone was talking about the health benefits of olive oil. It became a superstar product. Global demand skyrocketed, especially in the United States. It was no longer a local secret but a major international commodity. People all over the world were now willing to pay a high price for this so-called elixir of health.
Olive oil.
If you feel like extra virgin olive oil has gotten more expensive, you're probably not alone.
Extra virgin olive oil is now a major line in supermarkets.
Eating at least half a teaspoon of olive oil a day is linked to a lower risk of dying from heart disease, cancer.
This created a huge opportunity. Suddenly, small family farms in Italy had a global customer base. But getting the oil from their groves to shelves thousands of miles away required a long and complex chain of middlemen, co-ops, and bottling companies. With so many steps and so much money involved, the system became ripe for exploitation. But to really grasp how this fraud works, you first need to appreciate what makes real extra virgin olive oil so special. Every year, As winter sets in, Mediterranean farmers carefully harvest olives from centuries-old trees. They work patiently, gathering the fruit at its peak ripeness, often catching them as they naturally fall onto nets below. From the moment they are picked, the race against time begins. These fresh olives must be taken to the mill and pressed within a single day to preserve their quality. There, they are gently crushed and spun to separate the oil, without using heat, chemicals, or extensive processing. It's a simple but precise method: good olives, one pressing, and careful handling. The oil is then stored in dark, sealed bottles, kept cool, and should be enjoyed within a year and a half to experience its true flavor. This time-sensitive, labor-intensive process is what creates genuine extra virgin olive oil. Nestled in the very tip of Italy's boot lies a historic port city, a place long shaped by the influence of the Calabrian mafia, one of the country's most powerful criminal organizations. This group didn't just control the docks. They also held sway over vast stretches of local farmland, including olive groves. Back in 2016, this crime syndicate was caught importing low-quality olive pumice oil, a cheap, chemically refined byproduct of olive processing, and then rebottling it with labels that proudly claimed it was extra virgin Italian olive oil. In reality, it was far from the real thing. This counterfeit oil was shipped to importers in major US cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago. Buyers believed they were purchasing premium oil from Italy's finest regions, but they were actually being swindled, padding the mafia's pockets with enormous profits. The bust eventually came thanks to Italy's specialized food fraud police. Yes, that's a real unit. But the case highlighted why olive oil is so vulnerable to fraud. It's difficult to distinguish fake from real by sight or taste alone. Most people use it for cooking or dressings, not sipping, so subtle flaws go unnoticed. That's why this kind of deception is both easy and highly profitable. To combat it, Italy maintains dedicated task forces that regularly uncover scams, some blatant, some subtle. A frequent trick is importing cheaper olive oil from Spain or Tunisia, bottling it in Italy, and labeling it as Italian to fetch a higher price. Other times, producers blend real extra virgin oil with older, oxidized oil, or use poor quality olives that should have been discarded. So, is there any way to find the real thing? Absolutely. It exists. You just have to know how to find it. To help you out, we've linked some of the best videos right in the description that break down exactly what to look for. The answer is deeper than you might think. This isn't just about a cooking ingredient. It's about preserving a thousands-year-old tradition. For millennia, Mediterranean cultures have been built around the sacred practice of producing authentic olive oil. It's a craft that connects us to history itself. But when such a treasured tradition meets modern global capitalism, a conflict emerges. The focus often shifts from quality to quantity, triggering a race to the bottom to see who can produce it for the cheapest. This environment invites fraudsters to profit by selling us an imitation, undermining the honest producers who dedicate themselves to the costly, time-intensive right way of doing things.